Okay, Rusty, where are we?
Well, we decided to get out of town for a week or 2 days.
Are we escaping?
Here we are. And we've driven past it. I don't know how many times we've driven past this place. Hundreds.
A lot.
Boondooma Homestead.
So here we are inside of Boondooma Homestead. This is the kitchen area, obviously. And they have got some pretty good displays in here. A lot of information about the Boondooma property when it was first settled, how the buildings were made, a bit about who made the buildings. Obviously this beautiful building is still standing with bad lighting in here, but we'll live. You'll get the idea. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful timber building. Look at the size of those slabs. Old chairs. Lovely. We're going to have a bit of a look through each of the rooms in here. This room here has been set up as a chapel. So you can see. And it's just off, well, not far from the kitchen that we were just in. So the kitchen is that wall there is the kitchen on the other side of there. And then when you work through here, there is a bedroom. Bad lighting from the window, I know. But the little trunk as well. Well, not so little trunk, because I guess, you know, they would have used these trunks as storage for clothing and blankets, pillows, whatever, sheets. They're goods, so that vermin couldn't get into them. And this room doesn't have a wardrobe because it's pretty small, so I'm thinking that it would have been used for clothing. The trunk, that is. So this room would have been a dining room or a living area. Most of the other rooms in here are set up as bedrooms or the kitchen. So I'm guessing this would have been dining, living. Not sure about how much of the furniture in here was here, but I will look into that. And you can see that there's a hearth, so a fireplace over there, where they would have been keeping themselves warm. There was a fireplace in the kitchen as well, so I'm not sure. This one probably wouldn't have been used for cooking, but may have been. So they've got an old gramophone over there, an old typewriter, a little organ, and cupboards. You can see the bed in the next room. And this here is a piano on the side there. You can see all the old photos on the walls. Definitely a place worth visiting. Okay. This is the bedroom beside the living dining area there that we were just in. You can see they've got a beautiful pine cupboard there, absolutely beautiful pine wardrobe, and a double bed, I do believe. We were reading a plaque yesterday that said that the owners who bought the property originally, and I'll find out their names, brought their family up here, so a 12-year-old son and a smaller child, and had to go back to sell their other property and left their 12-year-old here to clear the land, get all the trees gone by himself. And he was here for 6 months. I think that's pretty rough. Here is another bedroom that's off the dining area, the opposite side. You can see the steel bed there, iron frame bed. Some period costumes over there. Lovely ladies wear. I don't think that we would like to be wearing long sleeves and high-necked dresses in the heat that we have out here. We're out here actually on a beautiful temperatured weekend, but obviously a few weeks ago it wasn't so lovely and we were complaining about 38-degree heat, and they would have had to have worn those dresses in that. It's a little baby's crib, and I think it's a bit strange to have two organs in here, but anyway.
This is one of a couple of graves I've seen on the property so far. I'm sure there'll be more across when it was a full size. But, citrus orchard, that's the Mundubbera Durong Rd just there. It's well kept. The caretakers are doing a wonderful job. So it's quite a large citrus orchard. But one thing that impressed me is the grapes. We were given a taste and they were absolutely amazing. Very early, very sweet. They're going to try and propagate them, so I can't wait to get some. Best tasting grape I've put in my mouth in a long time. You can see that the grapes, and Cindy will talk about them upstairs. We got Teddy and Panda today as usual, so I can't go inside, but let's just walk around. So we'll go over to this hoop pine. It was planted by, hang on, we'll go read the plaque, but planted just before World War II, back in 1939. Yeah, there you go. Bit of old growth hoop pine for you. Make some wonderful timber if it was taken care of nicely, but still, it's not its job. Its job is just to be. Let me read you the plaque. Tree was planted by Eddie Thompson on the 3rd of September 1939. Upon returning to the house, Eddie was just in time to hear Robert Menzies, Australian Prime Minister of the day, announce on the valve wireless that World War II had begun with Germany. Yeah. We're very fortunate in my generation that we haven't had another world war. I'm very grateful to every person who's contributed to that. The people who are known and the people who will never be known. Thank you to everyone. Yeah, it would have been hard living. I mean, this would have been a top-notch house, but Cindy's doing a video inside. Still would have been hard living in there. And the time taken to do these gardens. All of the grapes. Just look at the size of the butts on some of these. Amazing. But they've all been harvested. Oh, some asparagus in there too. Nothing they're getting nibble on. Grape runs. Look, as far as you can see down there, all the way to the fence line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rows. They must have loved their grapes. And here they sell a nice port that they've made from these grapes too over the years. That's the back half of one of the houses with the fire. Yeah. Just come this way. Post office. Milking shed down the back. I was going to get drone footage, but as you can see, it's very windy today. So I'm not sure if we'll get a drone shot, but we will. This is an old cookhouse that they're restoring. It's coming along nicely. I don't know when it was stopped work, but and the cool shed. These guys never had aircon. They figured it out early how to make things get cool. Tin and shingle roof with gap through it, hey? Oh, the obligatory toilet. Oh, termites have had their share. And that one over there was the post office.
I found the plaque with the information. So here we go. The homestead is thought to have been constructed between 1852 and 1856. There are reports that the southern end was built by French carpenters using metric measure and the northern end by English carpenters using imperial measure. Names associated with the construction are John Mills, who was known to be on Boondooma Station in 1852 and again in 1856 and employed as a carpenter. Also in the wages book as carpenters are a Mr. Mountain, Mr. Kip and Mr. R. Kendall. The homestead has never been connected to reticulated water. Electricity and telephone arrived after 1950. In close proximity were a cool room for storage of vegetables, which I'll show you, flour, sugar and so on, a butcher shop or meat shed, and 3 long drop outdoor toilets or earth closets, which we'll probably show as well. The main structure is very little changed from the original. It has a dedicated bathroom, a rarity among colonial homesteads, and the main eating area and kitchen area were separated from the main house in case of fire. Originally it was wallpapered and was big enough to have a room for a teacher, usually called the governess, for the children. On the southwestern corner of the house, adjacent to the main bedroom, was the nursery set up for 2 children and 2 nurses, the later nurses being Florence Nightingale trained. I actually feel very blessed. We were here yesterday afternoon talking to the current keepers of the property, and they were saying that they had just picked these Isabella grapevines, and we were able to have a taste of these grapes that came off these vines. Now, these are vines that were sent here in 1855. So these vines, you can see part of the grapevines out there. There's a few of them on the property, and they were planted out here, yeah, and were mainly supposed to be a grape that was used for jams. They had picked these beautiful grapes. They were wonderful, absolutely beautiful tasting. Oh, Russell says they're ugly looking chickens. So here's some citrus trees here in the garden at Boondooma Homestead. And these are pretty old. That one there is actually split down the trunk and is being held up by that branch thing there. Pretty amazing. Absolutely fantastic garden with a lot of the old plants that would have been originally planted. That one there's the Jacobine. Huge. Palm tree. I think it's a date palm, but I'm not sure. All of the grapevines in there behind. The Isabella grape that they make port from and jam. But beautiful tasting. Beautiful tasting fruit. Absolutely lovely gardens. 1939 this tree was planted and it is huge. Massive. We're inside the museum here at Boondooma Station, and somebody has done this wonderful model of the station, the building. Even put in the grapevines. Isn't that wonderful?
Sound quality is going to be bad due to the wind. But this is a memorial. I'll go really slowly so you can see. Every one of these people came from, every one of these men all came from around here. All came from Boondooma. It says it all, lest we forget. We only have what we have in this country today because of these men and brave women all around the world who've given us what we have. Okay. People today won't have nothing to live in. Yeah. Thank you to the Wanda Shire and everybody that put their hands into this building here. I didn't have something. I'll just have to make it. That would do your back a great deal of good, but people lived here for a long time. How's that for a space to hang out? Yeah. Story of the ticks. I still have a dip here today. I'm not sure if it's on the property here, but how's that for a straining place? There's a toilet block over there, just toilets for men and women. Dump point over there. Boundary rider's hut. Okay. I don't think there was anything romantic about riding the boundary. Hard work. And the boundary of Mundubbera was huge before the government carved it up. There you go. Could you imagine sleeping with canvas on top of those? They do your back a world of good after riding a horse all day. We were reading this one here. Now, glad our laws have changed over the years. Wait till you have a read of this, young people. Could you imagine? 1912, the main portion of Boondooma had been resumed for closer settlement. This wagon by Jacob Shearer brought his family and the goods and chattels from his farm in, I don't know how to say that, down near Kingaroy, As the conditions of purchase required that the new block had to be occupied and cleared, their 12-year-old son was left on his own for 6 months. Hey, 12-year-olds, how could you handle that today? You know, like things our forefathers had to do to get the land the way it is today. What about growing up fast? This stone building is a storehouse. Looks like a jailhouse with all its bars and shuttered windows. And don't see that nowadays. Someone's done a lot of work over the years to keep this as good as she is. And it was still used right up to the day. I'm not sure what that is. There's no, oh, hang on, it might be. Oh, it's an old fridge or freezer. Oh, wow. You complain about the size of fridge and freezers today. Early kerosene fridge. All right. Well, let's go and have a look out the back. You can see how well worn the floors are. How many thousands of feet over the years, because look how they were just broad axed. Bit of skill in that. Alright, so out here, oh, a couple of head gaskets. Maybe an old side valve 8 or a 4-cylinder or 2. I think that's what's left of an old Chev. Anyway, it looks like a stove bolt 6. And I'm not sure what the other one is. There's not much left of her. Just a good chassis and a tub. A couple of running boards. I'm unsure. I can't find any tags to say, or anything in the pressed metal to say what she was. No emblems anywhere. Obviously no emblems, but no pressed metal anything. Somebody's robbed it over the years for many things. Anyway, that's the life of cars, isn't it? Alrighty. How's this for a timber jinker? Boy, I tell you what, they did it hard in the old days. I mean, they still do it hard today in the timber industry, but this would have been a full-on job.
So this is the meat shed. Lots of air circulation at the top. It's missing parts of it at the moment. Let's have a look inside. Inside of the meat shed. I'm guessing that probably might have been the door from off here. More of a storage room at the moment. But here's the info. So classic slog and bed log construction dating from circa 1870, used as the domestic meat shed with the salt troughs remaining here until 1950s. Over many years, kangaroo and wallaby skins were nailed to the walls of the shed. A short-sighted move by a contractor in 1974 saw some of those slabs from this building removed for use in the gables of the stone store, which we'll show you. They can easily be identified by the masses of nail holes remaining. The shed began to tumble after that, but has been rebuilt by Buddy Thompson. They were talking about long drops inside. There was 3 of them. This may be one of them, I'm not sure. So this is the post office. Go around the side and have a look in the window in a minute. So this is the inside of the building. Apparently this room was split in 2, and trust me, it is not a very big room. It's probably maybe 4 metres by 2 metres if you're lucky, or 4 by 3 maybe. It's not very big. It was split into 2 rooms. The post office. Here's the info for the post office. This post office was built in 1855, probably in response to the letter on display here. The framework is cypress pine with ironbark slabs. It originally had a dividing wall, making 2 small rooms. The wings were added in 1930s to 50s, which is what I'm standing in. The building was stabilised in 2002. Tenders were called on 27th of July in 1860 for the weekly run from Dalby through Jingi, Burrandowan, Boondooma, Kuranga and Gayndah to Auburn and back. Joseph Booth was a successful tenderer. He set out on horseback at 6 a.m. each Saturday morning, arriving in Auburn by Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. and he received £450 a year for that job. Probably not a bad wage back then. And here's the letter. Dear Hayley, Boone, 25th of January 1855. In answer to yours respecting the establishment of a post from Tabinga to Gadaga, I beg to say that I shall be most happy to join in any arrangement that may meet the needs of all concerned, and have no doubt, if properly commenced, will continue for a long time, but must say, and am sorry to inform you, that if the present man called Stringfellow is to run the post, I shall most certainly object to have anything to do with it. Stringfellow arrived here on Monday about 12 o'clock with my mail in a state of drunkenness. I accused him of it, and his answer was that he would not be denied taking grog when he chooses, and that if he thought proper, he would carry grog with him. I told him that he was bound under a penalty of £10 not to carry grog, and his reply was, if that was the case, he would not have anything to do with the taking of the mail. I remain, dear Hayley, yours truly, Robert Lawson, excuse haste. P.S. Boondooma, 28th of January 1855. Stringfellow seems to be not only to be a drunken fellow, but strongly suspect half an idiot.
Plenty of grassed areas around here. You want to not be around others, unpowered. What did they say they had left? 7 acres.
Oh, I don't know. It was just all of the it was all of the grass, all the cut grass area. Yeah, it looks about 7 acres, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's a complex down there. There's our little van next to the lake. Or next to the... Boondooma Homestead. I really enjoyed the 2 days.
Beautiful 2 nights. Very quiet, right near the road, but not too... Like, you don't hear... No. There's no traffic at night time much at all.
No.
They don't really start until early in the morning, like after 6, really.
Yep. So on Mundubbera Durong Rd. For us, non-powered, $20 a night.
If you want
25.
powered, it's 25.
Cabins.
Don't know how much they were.
No, I didn't ask. But lots to do, lots to see, lots of history, but
Definitely.
quiet and a good place just to drop off the grid for a day or two. That's what we decided to do this time. We just want, and it's close enough for us to home, like within 40 minutes. But yeah, look, I give it a solid 9.5.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it is volunteer run, and it would be awesome if they had more showers, but they don't have enough water.
They have
So,
2 showers though.
The 2
which
showers,
is more
3
than
showers,
adequate
3
for...
3 I think all up. On the
Yes,
building.
so 3. So yeah, adequate enough for what was here though,
Yep.
like for the amount of people that
Big
were here
events,
for this weekend.
a couple of times a year.
Beautiful place.
Yep.
Definitely come back.
Worth coming again. We come back again if we just didn't want a video.
Yeah.
You know, that's for us now. Yeah, come and have a look. Come and talk to the boys. Try their port. Buy some of their merch. You know, it's all volunteer run.
Yeah.
You know,
Buy some of their cups or...
we need all these little places need people like us and you to come and stay, so that it'd be here for the next generation of explorers like us and you to come. Otherwise, it won't be here for anybody else later. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the date. Travel home now.
Yeah.
And
see you on the next one.
see you on the next trip.